Is Neymar cracking up with the pressure? That is the question being asked on the fringes of the Brazil camp as football's most expensive player struggles to get to grips with the World Cup and the expectation on him. Many in Brazil are fearing Neymar is beginning to feel the pressure. Neymar covers his ears as teammates Brazil's forward Felipe Coutinho, Brazil's defender Felipe Luis, second. Brazil's defender Marcelo, and Brazil's defender Pedro Tunanjeromel, second. Are trying to flick them his tears at the final whistle after scoring in the 2-0 win over Costa Rica won him few friends in the Brazilian media. Instead they were asking what on earth was he reacting like this for after the second game of the tournament. Final, yes, but a win over Costa Rica? Brazil's biggest newspaper O Globo's main headline read, "It's not normal to cry in the second game of the World Cup." The same publication suggested it reflected a mental weakness in the team and was either a return of Neymar's narcissism or a sign of troubling instability. Neymar breaks down in tears as Brazil win their World Cup match against Costa Rica. Felipe Coutinho stole the show against Costa Rica. Of course we have been here before when Ronaldo cracked up the night before the 1998 World Cup and looked in a trance as France ran out 3-0 winners. It was all down to the huge expectation that now weighs heavily on Neymar's shoulders with their qualification for the next phase of Russia 2018 still not guaranteed. He was poor in the opening 1-1 draw with Switzerland and again against Costa Rica. It took until injury time for Felipe Coutinho to break the deadlock and then Neymar converted a simple second from close range. We're on the ball. All the latest action, news, goals and gossip from the World Cup. Street parties continue in tonight as England fans celebrate 6-1 World Cup win. Allardyce eats burger as he watches England thump Panama alone in pub. Patrick Harry and his England heroes fly back to base after crushing Panama 6-1. Roy Keane's hilarious reaction to Ian Wright's joke about Gareth Southgate. Why England finishing second in group will give them an easier route. Xhaka and Shaqiri faced two match bans for Albanian Eagle celebrations. In fairness, the PSG star has had to battle back from a broken foot suffered last February just to get here. Last night at Brazil's training base, fullback Fagner suggested his tears were a reaction to that battle. Fagner said, "Neymar has gone through a lot. 2 weeks before I was called up for the World Cup I still had an injury, so wasn't sure if he would be able to be here. So different people react in different ways and perhaps that was his outburst. We all know what we've done to get here. It's very difficult to judge. He was able to score and wear the jersey and play in a World Cup again. Every athlete is a human being who has feelings and is entitled to be upset about things said about him, but we're all supporting him. Of course he's an experienced man and he can face this in the best possible way so he can save his energy to play in the team." Neymar appeared to be enjoying himself during training today. Neymar takes a tumble during training this afternoon. Neymar himself has reacted to the criticism he has been receiving by tweeting, "Not everyone knows what I went through to get here. Talk is cheap. Now it's time to act. In my life, things have never been easy and won't be now. The dream, no not the dream, the objective, continues." While Neymar enjoys being the main man, it is Coutinho who has been getting the plaudits after scoring a cracker in the draw with Switzerland and the vital first against Costa Rica. That will hurt. It's not just Neymar's performance that has brought criticism, but the weird haircut he sported for the first game, which looked like someone had spilt a bowl of spaghetti on his head. Even Eric Cantona took the mick trying to replicate it. So Neymar toned it down for the second game. Lose to Serbia on Wednesday and Switzerland get at least a point against Costa Rica, and he will need a full disguise, never mind a new haircut. Marcelo, left, and Fagner, right, in action at training tight talks with his players during a Brazil training session at Hugo Sports Stadium. Marcelo, Al, and Felipe Coutinho are all smiles at training. Brazil will be out at the group stage, and that will not go down well back home. Now even the Brazilians are sitting up and taking notice of England after they followed up their opening 2-1 win over Tunisia with a 6-1 thumping of Panama. Brazil fullback Fagner said, "We know how strong England are, how strong their football is. They have great players, and so do Spain, Portugal, Germany and Argentina as well. We know in decisive moments these teams have a lot of tradition and can get to the final. When you have expectations, you also have a lot of pressure." Fanzone Brazil. Power cut can't stop Brazil's World Cup party in Stockwell.